My name is Bredehoft with Tiger Coaching and Personal Training. I want to talk to you today a little bit about getting prepared for winter conditions for outdoor activities, whether running or walking. The first thing to consider is to take a look at that temperature. Obviously, I mean, if it's 20 below zero and the wind's blowing, the wind chills are 50 below, then we really got to take a look at whether it's even safe to go outside. But in most conditions in Nebraska, if it's at 30 degrees, light wind, or even 20, you can dress to be outside. And the best way to dress for this stuff is with dress with layers. Of course, walking and running, with running you create more heat, so you're going to need a few less layers than you would with walking. The reason we dress in layers is because each layer will trap some warm air in between it. And so, and with today's technology on clothing, it helps wick that moisture away from our body. So for instance, if you just wear a cotton t-shirt, a long sleeve sweatshirt or something of cotton, the water, it'll tend to get soaked with water, cling to the skin, and the wind, once it works through you, it's going to get you wind chill and become very cold, and it could be dangerous, even hypothermic. So when we're talking about dressing layers, the first layer next to our skin would be a lighter polyprop or Coolmax type of thing that'll wick the moisture away from your body. It fits tight to your body, and then even for pants, we got some really lightweight tights and so forth you can wear. Sometimes we even start with a nice little layer of just a really light short sleeve shirt. Okay, so we've got that base layer on. We call that the base layer, the first layer. Then we're going to put a secondary layer that's going to be kind of the insulation or insulating layer that's going to keep the warmth in. And so this one here is a long sleeve, a little bit thicker. The moisture again will wick from your body into this layer. We'll go from there, depending on the weather conditions. I've used in the past a vest. This will kind of help stop the wind if it's windy and so forth, and trap the warmth in a little bit more. Or a nice jacket if it's a little colder out. This one is a moisture wicking jacket. These shells that you wear on the outside, which is the third layer, will help to keep the wind from penetrating your body and chilling you. You want to get a good pair of gloves. There's not a lot of good gloves out there depending on the extremities and the climate you live in. So these are a pair that are really nice. They're a warmer glove, but they also have this shell that would go over the fingers if it was a little bit windier or colder. So you want to find a nice pair of gloves. Again, you get a pair of these, they're going to last you years, so it's worth the investment on those. Also, we want to keep our head covered. Most of the heat that escapes from the body is going to go out through the head, so you've got to get those head covered. So this one also has a shield for your mouth if you need it, so you can breathe through, warm the air a little bit. Whether it's a polyprop type of stocking cap, Coolmax stocking cap, works good. Again, you want to wick that moisture. Last but not least is your feet. Instead of a real heavy pair of socks that will tend to keep your toes are going to get warm or cold and so forth, go with a couple light layers. This is a light layer. This is a smart wool sock that you might wear. And if you even wear a couple of light pairs, two pairs, again, the warmth in between the two pairs will keep your feet a little warmer. And also with that, depending on the conditions, with snow and ice, you want to be careful if it's very icy out, but otherwise, winter types of walking and running shoes are really important. They got better traction on the bottom. Some have Gore-Tex, keep your feet warmer, and even waterproof if you're running in the snow. So check those out. They're a great investment. I have a pair of different shoes I use in the winter than what I use in the summer. You're going to probably find first time out that you come back and you are really hot and warm. It's surprising. You think you got to dress warmer than you are. If you go out the door and get ready for your run and walk and you're a little chilled, that's perfect because your body will create heat. And the other important aspect of winter running is make sure that you run out, check the wind conditions, and if there is a little bit of wind, run into the wind so you come back with the wind. Naturally, when you're running back with the wind, you'll create more heat and you won't have that wind in your face and you'll sweat more. So you don't want to be running with the wind and then into the wind back when you get more chilled and possibly hypothermic and those kind of things. Don't let winter stop you from getting out and running. Get out there, try it, get the proper gear. Some of the best runs are out when it's lightly snowing. It's very beautiful out there, so don't let that inhibit you. If you dress properly, you're going to be ready for a nice, motivated run or walk in the winter.